Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Mahaperiyava Sharanam. Shri Soundarya Lahari, explanation of verse 13. Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam Tava Panga Loke Patita Manudhavanti Shatashaha Galad Veni Bandhaha Kucha Kalasha Visrasta Sichaya Hathat Trutyat Kanchyaha Vigalita Dukula Yuvatayah. Verse 11 describes Ambal's Sri Chakram. The angles of Ambal's abode, Sri Chakram, come to a close with 44 tattvas consisting of 4 Shiva chakras, 5 Shakti chakras, and separate from the Shambhu Shiva chakras, 9 source materials of the universe, along with the 8-petaled lotus, 16-edged lotus, 3 circles and 3 lines. Having described Ambal's Sri Chakram, Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padar attempts to describe Ambal's beauty, Soundarya. However, he feels he cannot do justice to that attempt. Even great people, including Brahma, who had attempted to describe Ambal's beauty, Soundarya, were not completely successful in that attempt. O daughter of the snowy mountain, the best of poets such as Brahma and others made an attempt to describe your beauty by somehow comparing with something. However, they were not successful in their attempt. Out of ardent desire to see your beauty, celestial women make an attempt to obtain the position of absorption into Shiva, Shiva Sayujyam, which is difficult to obtain even by extreme penance. Therefore, these celestial women settle to obtain Shiva Sayujyam and experience your beauty only through their mind. The 13th shloka describes the greatness of Ambal's Kataksham, the slight glance from the corner of her eye. Similar to the 6th shloka, where Manmatha, being a weakest person with weak weapons, weak ally, weak chariot, wages a war and turns out to be victorious only through Ambal's Karuna Kataksham, compassion through the glance from the corner of her eye. Similarly, another person who is also weak in a different aspect gets Ambal's Paripurna Anugraham, complete blessings, through the slight glance from the corner of her eye. Let us look into the Padacheda and then detailed explanation. Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam Tava Apanga Aloke Patitam Anudhavanti Shatashaha Galat Veni Bandhaha Kucha Kalasha Visrasta Sichaya Hathat Trutyat Kanchyaha Vigalita Dukulaha Yuvatayah. Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam. Naram, a man. Varshiyamsam, somebody who is very old. Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam. Being old, he is not very pleasant to look at. Somebody with not too much beauty. Narmasu Jadam. Not very skilled in handling women and art of love. Naram Varshiyamsam Nayana Virasam Narmasu Jadam. A very old man who is unpleasant to our eyes, who is not very skilled in handling women and art of love. Kama Kalai. Tava Apanga Aloke Patitam Anudhavanti. Tava Apanga, the corner of your eye, indicating Ambal's glance from the corner of her eye. aloke, within the range of sight, the kataksham, from the corner of your eye, patitam, which falls, anudhavanti shatashah, he is pursued, dhavanti means run, anudhavanti followed or pursued, shatashah by how many? Hundreds of people. What kind of people is described in the later lines. A man who is very old, unpleasant to look at, is not very skilled in handling women and the art of love. When Ambal's kataksha, the range of sight from the corner of her eye, falls on him, is pursued by hundreds of people. Galat veni bandhaha kucha kalasha visrasta sichaya. When Ambal's kataksham falls on that person, he is pursued by hundreds of people. This line describes the status or the situation those 100 people are in. Galat veni bandhaha, with braided hair completely loosened, not tied up. When they are pursuing him, the braided hair gets loosened up. Kucha kalasha visrasta sichaya, the cloth that is covering the frontal part of the body, resembling a pitcher or a pot, describing a shapely bosom of a woman. That piece of cloth also slips away. Hatat trutyat kanchyah vigalita dukulaha yuvatayah. Yuvatayah indicating young women. The people who are following him are young women. And in what state are they in? Their braided hair is completely loosened up. The cloth covering the frontal portion of their body, the bosom, slips away, and hatat trutyat kanchyah vigalita dukulaha. Hatat, suddenly, trutyat kanchyah, the waist ornaments, kanchi, indicating udhyanam, that also snapping or slipping away. Vigalita dukulaha. Dukulam means silk. The silk garments also dropping down. Yuvatayah anudhavanti, the young women pursue him. In general, a woman likes a man who is young, who is pleasant to look at, beautiful and handsome, who understands her psychology, is able to handle her well, and also is skilled at the art of love. However, this person has no such quality. In spite of that, hundreds of women pursue him, simply due to Ambal's karuna kataksham, her simple glance falling from the corner of her eye on the bhakta. Naram varshiyamsam nayana virasam narmasu jadam, a very old man who is not pleasant to look at, who is not skilled at handling women, and who does not have any skill related to art of love. Tava apanga aloke patitam anudhavanti shatashah, when the range of sight from the corner of your eye falls on that man, he is pursued by hundreds. Galat veni bandhaha kucha kalasha visrasta sichaya, with braided hair completely loosened, with the cloth covering the pitcher like bosom slipping away. Hatat trutyat kanchyah vigalita dukulaha yuvatayah, young women are chasing him, following him, with the waist ornaments too suddenly snapping away and silk garments dropping down. When we try to understand the shloka at the surface level, it looks like this is a shloka one would chant to attract women. However, there is a deeper meaning to the shloka. The young women here indicate Upanishads, personified as Upanishad Stris. When a bhakta gets a simple glance of Ambal's Kataksha, he is able to realize Parabrahmam. He becomes Parabrahmam himself. Upanishads personified as young woman who has attained the state of Parabrahmam. The young woman can also be considered to be personifications of fame, wealth, speech, intellect, firmness, and patience. When a man falls within the range of sight of the corner of your eye, though he is very old, unpleasant to eye, and not skilled in handling women, not knowing the art of love, young women pursue him by the hundreds, with their braided hair loosened up, with cloth slipping from the shapely bosom, with waist ornaments snapping suddenly, and silk garments dropping down. If we were to look at the corresponding nama from Lalita Sahasranamam, not only ordinary bhaktas are longing for Ambal's Kataksha. Kataksha Kinkari Bhuta Kamala Koti Sevita. She who is attended by crores of Lakshmis who earn for her simple glance. Such is the power and greatness of Ambal's Kataksham. This shloka can be chanted to obtain something that we desire for, but even more so, as per the inner meaning, to get Ambal's Kataksham, her simple glance that is capable of providing Paripurna Anugraham. Thus concludes the explanation of verse 13 of Soundarya Lahari. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu, Harihi Om Tatsat, Mahaperiyava Sharanam, Jai Jai Shankara, Har Har Shankara.